Hey. Hello, everyone. Hi. Oh my gosh. I remember what we're on. 27. All right. So, we're on part 27 of a Weedwife remedy. Couple things. It's probably going to be a shorter one. So, no, because it's my birthday. I am 43. And also because my new job I'm really tired. And the job is fine, it's good, but it's just like really, I'm exhausted and I'm maybe getting a migraine. So, but I wanted to be on today because we missed last week and everything else. And hi, Heather. Thank you for your birthday wishes. But anyway, we're going to be talking about berries today. And I've got actually, so it's out back in the berry patch, the traditional medicinal use of berries. And then, so full disclosure, I haven't read our part this week. And I just this morning, like, figured out what I was going to talk about, and is very appropriate. I'm also reading Braiding with Sweetgrass, which is a really great book, and it kind of makes me cry every time I read it. But there's a part in there about strawberries and gift giving, and I thought that was very appropriate. It's about berries and gift giving, and it's my birthday. So, and then there's a section also in this book about raspberry. But I think it's going to be two-parters because there's some really cool stuff in in all three of the books. So there's a free PDF of Braiding with Sweetgrass online. I'm going to, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna link this. So this is the free Braiding with Sweetgrass PDF that you can get the whole book. They are going to have like a new hardcover book coming out on the 13th of this month. Then I think we were thinking one day it would be a book club book. But anyway, I have it on audio, but I'm gonna get the nice new hardcover, which sounds fun. I like to have hardcover as well as as well as audio. Audio is good for work because I have a lot of time to listen at work. Although I can't listen at work because of music. So, all right. So we'll just maybe I'll get to that bit next week since I'm really tired. I'm going to start with our book. So we are on page 128. Anyone living alone? And I did not get a chance. I like to get a chance to at least read, like be semi-prepared. Yeah, let's get a sweater here. And we'll just leave it. So it's fine. All right. I grew up I grew up both picking and growing all sorts of berries, from strawberries to gooseberries to huckleberries, and hauling huge baskets of sweet red raspberries with my mother in the deep south. Is one of my first memories, although I'm certain my basket was much smaller than I now recall it. Berry cobblers are also larger than life in my memory, and I can clearly recall my enthusiasm being such that I had to be hosed down after more than one colorful summertime dessert. So, does anybody, regularly pick berries? Did you have any berry experience as a kid? We used to go to, well, this is when I was an adult, but we used to go to like a strawberry patch and pick them, and then you would pay for them by the pound, and it wasn't wild and it was all cultivated, and it wasn't organic, but it was fun. And that was just a lot of fun. So that's what we did. And then on my road, there were some blackberries, and we ate a few of them, but we didn't, go crazy. And they were very tart. So, but yeah. And so, but I've never thought of them as a medicinal, except with red raspberry leaf. So I like that it's in here. But also there's elderberries too. So yeah, there's plenty. Oh man, I'm super exhausted, Joes. Okay. Back then I had no idea that berries were anything besides beautiful, infinitely tasty, and had no clue I would one day find myself gathering them from the mountains of New Mexico to make into medicine for local village folk. Picking berries goes way back. Yes, it does. It does. Heather, do you have berries on your land? Berries have not only been a vital food source for most of the world, they've also proven to be important medicines. They not only provide much needed nutrients, but can also act in specific medicinal ways, as with elderberries' antiviral and immune stimulating actions, mulberries' blood tonic properties and ability to help prevent hot flashes. Ooh, that's really good. And even sumac's traditionally used in the South to stop excess secretion. You've got elderberry, blue elderberries and mulberries. Nice. Okay. Yeah, currently I don't live anywhere where I have any berries. I don't know if my friend has berries on her land. Actually, I have to ask her. We got these just twigs basically, and they're elderberry. They were elderberry starts from an herb conference, and I gave her mine, so we had two because I don't have any place to plant them, and one of them has survived, and it's pretty big, so I don't know if it has berries on it yet. I think it takes some time, but that's just pretty awesome. So yes, nice. Yes, I agree, Heather. What I cover in regards to the selected berries here is not meant to represent the full spectrum of uses, but rather what I have personally experience with and what I think will provide most useful to the practicing or home herbalist. With almost all of the herbs discussed here, multiple parts of the plant can also be used medicinally, either similarly or in different ways. However, I have focused solely on the actions and characteristics of the fruits themselves. I lived on wild berries as a kid. Oh, that's awesome, Heather. And we just didn't have like the abundance of them. Otherwise, we probably would be too. All right. So so that's on. We're gonna step away from our book for a second, and I'm going to read a section from Braiding with Sweetgrass, and it's page. It's like starts on page 22 of the. It's wait. It's 22 of the book, but it's like 35 of the PDF. And it's the gift of strawberries. And I'm gonna sort of start it sort of in the middle. So my question is why it's so appropriate, because my birthday is about gifts. And this whole idea about what is a gift, what makes a good gift, the whole concept of like buying a gift versus making a gift, you know, like pros and cons, this whole idea of, she talks about a gift economy, which is really cool. I'm not sure we're going to get to all of that, but I just want to hear everyone's thoughts as I, read this little section. And next week I will, we'll do more on it because I'm tired. But and maybe I can think of something a little more coherent, and maybe one day we'll do this book for book club. So this is the gift of strawberries. In a way, I was raised by strawberries, fields of them, not to exclude the maples, hemlocks, white pines, goldenrod, asters, violets, and mosses of upstate New York, but it was the wild strawberries beneath dewy leaves on an almost summer morning who gave me my sense of the world, my place in it. I'm going to skip. Even now, after more than 50 strawberry moons, finding a patch of wild strawberries still touches me with a sense of surprise, a feeling of unworthiness and gratitude for the generosity and kindness that comes with an unexpected gift, all wrapped in red and green. Really? For me? You shouldn't have. After 50 years, they still raise the questions of how to respond to the generosity. Sometimes it feels like a silly question with a simpler answer, the very simple answer, eat them. But I know that someone has wondered these same things. In our creation stories, the origin of strawberries is important. Sky Woman's beautiful daughter, whom she carried in her womb from Sky World, grew on the good green earth, loving and loved by all other beings. A tragedy befell her when she died giving birth to her twins, Flint and Sapling. Heartbroken, Sky Woman buried her beloved daughter in the earth. Our final gift, our most relevant plants, grew from her body. The strawberries rose from her heart. In Potawatomi, which is this author's native language, the strawberry is, I can't pronounce that, but it's called heartberry. We recognize them as leaders of the berries, the first to bear fruit. Strawberries first shaped my view of a world full of gifts simply scattered at your feet. A gift comes to you through no actions of your own, free, having moved towards you without you beckoning. It is not a reward. You cannot earn it or call it to you or even deserve it. And yet it appears your only role is to be open-eyed and present. Gifts exist in all realms of humanity and mystery. As with random acts of kindness, we do not know their source. I'm skipping again. I'm just going to read this last paragraph. I experienced the world in that time as a gift economy, goods and services, not purchased but received as gifts from the earth. Of course, I was blissfully unaware of how my parents must have struggled to make ends meet in the wage economy raging far from this field. In our family, the presents we gave each other were almost always homemade. I thought it was the definition of a gift, something you made for someone. We made all of our Christmas gifts, piggy banks from old Clorox boxes, hot pads from broken clothespins, and puppets from retired socks. My mother said it was because we had no money for straw-bought presents. It didn't seem like a hardship to me. It was something special. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. This idea of gifts. And so, yeah. What do you guys think? About gifts. We'll go back to like, did you have experiences with making homemade gifts, or like were all of your gifts mostly store-bought, a little of both? Do you feel like homemade gifts are better store-bought gifts? And what do you think about her, her ideas about the origins of gifts, the nature of gifts? I thought that was really cool. They're just sort of, I don't know, you can't go out and try to get them. Just given to you. Anyway, all right, we'll go back to our book on 129, and we're going to talk about the benefits of pie, the other pie, antioxidants, anthocyanins, anthocyanins. I am pronouncing that right. Other colorful ingredients. Pie. I love gifts from nature. Mother and I made lots of gifts for people, neighbors, teachers. I don't know. It's a little. Yes, Heather. Yes, and Heather made me a gift too. Heather makes lovely. I'll go get it. I'm gonna go get it, Heather. So Heather makes lovely little creatures, and she made me this beautiful little owl last year. And I think it was for my birthday. It might have been for like Christmas or something, but it doesn't matter. So, and it was a beautiful surprise. And I love it so much. Sitting on my little shelf with all my like crystals and tarot decks and stuff like that back there. Not my other. That's my other pile. But anyway, yes. So Yeah, when I was growing up, I didn't make it. I didn't make any gifts that I remember. We I think I definitely bought. I don't remember because like when I was a little, of course I didn't have a lot of money. So you bake cookies? Oh, I made paper flowers. That's so awesome, Heather. I can see where like you got, like your creativity and stuff like that. That's amazing. Yeah, my mom, I made a hot plate in camp. No, or it was at school. I made this hot plate. And my mom still uses it to this day. And it's like a rainbow, and I specifically like to call so it became a present. Ceramic, yeah, we had little ceramic tiles, different color ones that we literally like cemented on just like a tile like a backing of some sort. And I remember it was a school activity, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, for sure. But I definitely don't remember making stuff. I think I did like some friendship bracelets and some stuff like that. Maybe some necklaces. Oh, okay. So yeah, I worked at a jewelry store, a bead shop, and I made my mom a necklace. So yeah, but it's been a variety. There's just something. I think there is something a lot special about like just little, handmade gifts and stuff, and it's just, I think because somebody made it, it carries extra love. So anthocyanins are a type of antioxidant that are colorful pigments that occur in most plants, especially in flowers, fruits, berries, such as elderberries, blackberries, raspberries, grapes, blackcurrants, blueberries, cranberries, cherries, tend to be especially rich in them. These compounds protect against antioxidant damage and have an enormous impact on overall human health. Most of the specifics are beyond the scope of this article, but I'll touch on a few important points that clearly apply to herbalists and their practice. So yeah, you've probably heard of like antioxidants from these berries and stuff like that. I think that's really common. And I'm thinking purple tomatoes. Oh, I didn't know that, Heather. That's cool. I love purple tomatoes. It's the color, right? Yeah, it's in that color. So this is the word we're talking about that I'm mispronouncing pretty good, but it's a active plant constituent. Yep. The color, yeah. So it's a good time to do berries because elderberries are out, probably blackberries. Time. So this is the perfect time to do that. So this appeared to strengthen the vascular system, and some studies indicate that they can lower blood pressure, prevent clots, lessen bruising and varicose veins, as well as reduce excess bleeding. Additionally, we have anthocyanin can markedly increase visual activity, even reversing vision loss and night blindness. Clinically, I have clearly seen berries rich in this ingredient increase vascular strength, including in acute vasculitis. And I have also seen cases where cardiac health has been significantly improved and vision loss has been reversed or stopped. Theoretically, also inhibit cancer cell proliferation, and I have, which means dividing, proliferation, if anyone doesn't know what that word is. And I have seen some clinical work that corresponds with that idea that have no personal experience to cite here. So it sounds like there's a lot of research done on the actions of these berries. I know that when I was working at the health food store, people would come in for black cherry concentrate, and it was in the supplement department. And I think it's supposed to be good for gout as well. I cannot remember, so don't quote me on that. But it's this concentrate. It's pricey, but that's what people used it for. So I definitely don't eat a lot of berries. I used to eat a bunch of cherries during cherry season. Holy cow! Used to have cherry season at, when I was at work, we didn't just have a cherry season. We just have cherries at the store. It's one of those seasonal things. And I just went the zonkers every year because they were so yummy. Kind of maybe, next year I will get some cherries again, but it's been a long time. So black cherries, yes, Heather, they were so good. Oh my god, I would just sit there and eat cherries. So for the practicing herbalist, food like plants containing these corresponding compounds as part of their medicinal matrix are extremely useful, in part because they are safe and accessible for almost anyone who might need them. They are not drug-like herbs that need to be carefully dosed, and they taste so good that compliance is rarely an issue. Most folks won't complain about their medicine coming in the form of a pie, after all. I do that too. Oh my gosh, here's you a medicine pie. That sounds great, right? Oh no, I don't want to take my pie today. You will comply. Yes, definitely. I will comply to pie. Pie is good. Oh my gosh. My mom used to make, for a while, she was making this lovely, blueberry and I don't know what else, pies. It was so good. She'd have this gluten-free crust on it, and it was a little tart, because she didn't add a lot of sugar. Oh my god. Maybe she'll make it when they finally be able to come visit me after COVID. That would be really cool. Specific berries are on page 130. This is blueberry, bilberry, huckleberry, and allied species. I hope she visits soon. Yes, me too, Heather, but it will be probably a while. They're in Texas, and there's a pandemic. But we're going to be cooking up a storm. I hope when they come visit. There's a lot of things I'd like to cook with them. So, blueberries are perhaps the first berry that comes to mind when someone brings up the subject. In at least most parts of the United States, this ubiquitous little confection is not only one of the best tasting things on the planet, it's also an incredible medicine. Like most of the berries discussed in this article, they contain copious amounts of anthocyanins discussed above. As with all herbs, blueberries are more than the sum of their isolated parts, but all of the aforementioned qualities do indeed apply to blueberries. Now, the one thing about berries is that they can be pricey. And I think that they're not, you know, like, I know we don't get them a lot because they're expensive. So if you could get them wild, if you have them wild, that would be the best, you know, easiest way to get them. I know we get this little tiny, like, bit of berries, and it's like $5, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think the cherries were cheaper, but I think that's really an issue for a lot of people. Not everyone, but you can also grow them. So sometimes you can find wild berries frozen in the freezer section. That I forgot about the freezer section. Yes, Heather. Yes. So, yes, I believe that Whole Foods might have wild frozen berries in the freezer section. I think they're a little even more expensive, but probably worth it. And of course, if you can get organic, but if you can't, and then you can have them all year. Not as good as fresh, but still have it. Yes, exactly. I agree, Heather. Right. Yeah. And like our broccoli that we've been getting seeing at the store has been so, like, looks so terrible. I've been getting frozen broccoli. So, you know, I mean, frozen just it keeps it, it's just frozen. So, you know, as long as you're not getting like canned with a bunch of sugar, a bunch of additives or anything, a bunch of salt, if you're just getting that frozen stuff, that's fine. You know, no salt, nothing added. Yeah, that's the only thing you have to watch out for when you're getting something frozen, or, you know, or if it's canned, just like if it's just in like water or whatever. But I think there's usually a lot more salt. So yes, cool. I forgot about that. Specifically, blueberry fruits are an excellent remedy for liver blood viscosity with symptoms of vision degradation, night blindness, and other eye issues. I do need to eat blueberries because I have some eye issues. So, studies indicate that ingestion of significant amounts of any sort of blueberry can increase eyesight and night vision. Clinical work backs this up, and I have had blueberry and elderberry concentrates to be very useful in stopping or reversing age-related vision loss. And I've also used blueberry alongside other colorful berries such as elderberry, raspberry, hawthorn, and others when treating vasculitis. So this is something like inflammation of the veins, some vein issue, easy bruising, sore, some forms of anemia, and any kind of blood deficiency. I'm going to type that because I, I'm mispronouncing a bunch of stuff. So, so this is what she says. So let's see, treating. Okay, so that is what she said. So I got everything right. In case anyone wants to look any of that up, you know. And I also like to combine rose blueberries, elderberries, blackberries with hawthorn haws. I don't know what a hawthorn haw is. and rose hips when treating almost any sort of vascular deficiency condition. I mean, maybe it's the berry part. That's cool. Does anyone take like berries medicinally? Yes, it's the hawthorn berry. Or does anyone know anyone who takes berries medicinally? And then what form? Like, you just eat them? Is it like in a tincture? I don't think people tincture berries. She does have some recipes here. Tea and an elixir. I know when I was taking red raspberries, it was a tea and it was from a leaf. No, but I was thinking about my elderberry syrup this morning. Yes. So I mean, I definitely do elderberries in, elderberry syrup. And there's a bunch of elderberry syrup recipes floating around. I think Mountain Rose Herbs has some. Heather probably has. Heather, did you make your recipe up, or did you yeah. Or did you find it somewhere? Yeah, how to make elderberry syrup. There's a video too. This one looks good. And it's got ginger and cinnamon in it, which I find is amazingly delicious. So you made it up. It's written somewhere, I understand. That's all my recipes are. This is from Mountain Rose Herbs. Their blog, they have like a ton of like recipes on their blog. So that's really yummy. And there's like a little video. So yeah, or you can buy them. But I think like almost every herbalist has an elderberry syrup recipe. So I think this year I'm gonna use apple juice instead of water, hopefully to help it be less sweet. Wouldn't it be more sweet? Because the apple juice has sugar in it? Or would you just add less honey? Also, would the constituents that come out in the water come out in the apple juice? Add less honey, okay. That's the only thing, like, because when you make that tea, that was the only thing I was thinking of. I understand about adding less honey. Let's see, because this one has some water. So you could do, this one has 4 cups. I don't know, you're making it. You could do like half and half, like some water, some. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either, Heather. Yeah, let me know. You know, because apple juice has some water in it. You could. No, I don't know. Gotta think about that. But I like where you're going with it. You know. Because this one has like, this recipe has So it's got 2 cups dried elderberry, 4 cups water, ginger, cinnamon, 1 cup honey. But you're combining everything and you're reducing the heat and you're simmering it for 30 to 40 minutes. So you sort of make a decoction where you like remove from heat, you steep and let steep 1 hour. So you just sort of let it sit, strain berries. So you have like less water than you started. Let's see. Oh, what kind of water should I use? This is, they say it should be distilled, spring or purified, depending on where you live. Can I add X, Y, and Z to my elderberry syrup? Yeah, that didn't answer my question. There's a water to herb ratio. There's an well, okay. Sorry, guys. You should add the honey after simmering. Raw honey. Oh, use raw honey. Nice. If you can get local honey, it's good too. If you get local raw honey, it's good. Yeah. It didn't say in the article, so what kind of, if they just use water. I think distilled water would be good if you want to sort of keep it as shelf stable as possible. I think their version is shelf stable, but the one I was making, it was just refrigerated. You have to refrigerate it. Oh, you use this brand of syrup before. I like Norm's. Ooh. Elderberry apple shot. Oh, okay. So this uses apples in it. Ooh. That seems amazing. Food from the dirt, not the lab. That seems great, Heather. And there's no, there's probably less sugar in that one, right? Where I got my idea. Okay, because when you were saying that, I was like, why don't you just put like apples in it? Like, and I was like, no, but that was my thought. Okay. Well, I get mine from, I really like Norm's Farms, but they they definitely have sugar. You can actually get one without, what's very tart. Yeah, it's this one here. So this one is really great because it's super tart and it doesn't have any sugar in it. It was a gift, a bit out of my price range. Yeah, elderberry is expensive. This one is like $40. This is $20 for 8 ounces. So, well, $21 for that shipping. Unless they have them all over the United States. They sell in stores. So now this wellness syrup is yummy as heck, but it's got elderberry water, honey, cloves, cinnamon, and sugar. It's amazeballs, but it is like sweet and definitely sugar in it. So yeah, I really like them. They sell in many, many stores all over the country. So yeah. Let's see. Do I still have yours up, Heather? Yeah, how much? Yeah, 22. Yeah, so it's for, so this is 9.3 ounces. Yeah. So it's cheaper to make your own. If you can make your own elderberry syrup, it's definitely going to be cheaper. It's expensive. But you know, sometimes it can be easier to buy it because if you don't have the time to make your own. And you can buy elderberries from Mountain Rose. They sell out. Elderberries sell out really fast. I'm gonna see if they have them in stock. They might be like sold out. Also, let's see. They are not. So it's Sambucus nigra, which is the black elderberries. This is the blue ones that Heather was mentioning. That's pretty rad that they're not sold out. They do get sold out. There's other places you can buy them too. Do you drink black cherry juice? It's good for you and you can add it to whatever. I don't. I have a pint bag frozen in my freezer from my own bush in the garden. Aw, that's awesome. You're so lucky. I hope our elderberry bush starts doing elderberries, because then we can just get into that. My friends, and I think that would be pretty rad. You know, pretty rad. It's that time. It's that time to start doing the elderberry. So, no, I should work in more berries into my diet though. So I do so much stuff for my health. It's hard. It's hard to do stuff for your health. All this stuff. All right. All right. So I'm going to. Let's see. I'm gonna finish this little. Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more in our book. Yes, I have another bush to plant soon. Nice. It's hard to always do everything you should do. It is, definitely. But it's good to keep these things in mind. I'm probably going to start doing elderberry syrup, so that'll give me some antioxidants, stuff like that. So I'm at the bottom of 130. The most popular form of taking blueberries medicinally tends to be a concentrated solid form or in capsules. I've never seen it in capsules, but it can work in a variety of tasty preparations. I like elixirs and cordials, as well as simply adding the berries to smoothies, pies, or whatever tasty blueberry delicacy you personally prefer. And it says, I've been trying to put just to remember, take my vitamins, right? It could be hard in this really, really busy world. Like, okay, so at work, like, there's 2 refrigerators, and one refrigerator is pretty much empty, right? But one refrigerator is chock full of these frozen dinners. Like, everybody, a lot of people that I work with, if they don't go out to eat, I don't know how they go out to eat in like 30 minutes, but So I'm assuming they're getting fast food. But anyway, they've got these frozen meals. And you know, and it's just, it's hard to just make your lunch every day, which I have to do because I can't eat a frozen meal. I can't eat anything. Sometimes I just wish I could, because like it's so convenient, and you know, it adds more stress. But you know, in the long run, it's healthier. But so yes, it's hard to remember to do. It's hard to do the things we need to do. They take our vitamins, make our lunch in this kind of crazy world that's very overwhelming and doesn't give us a lot of time. So that was my very roundabout point. So I like the ideas of elixirs because they're very tasty. For the rare folk that doesn't appreciate the flavor, it can easily be blended with other berries like elderberry if they prefer, or can be concentrated into a tincture. Berry tincture sounds really yummy. I don't know if it'll taste as yummy. For elixir that can contain other complementary flavors such as cinnamon or even cocoa. Oh my gosh, the possibilities are amazing here. Convenience test, since you are gluten-free and have certain needs. Yes, it's true. It's difficult. Like any kind of frozen dinner, even if it's like from the health food store, has one thing that I can't eat in it. It's very frustrating. I'm like, man, if I could just, you know, not every day, but like 1 or 2 days a week, just like be able to like pop something into the microwave and, you know, just take it with me to work. It'd be so much nicer, but nope. All right, so we're gonna leave it there on our book on 131. And we'll be back to sort of talk about, or at the top of 131. We're going to talk about raspberries, blackberries, white mulberries, and there's a second little chapter, but it's just like some recipes. So I'm going to combine them all up there. I hope you can get some rest. Me too, man. Well, I have 3 days off because I took my birthday off, which is today. So, aw, thank you, Heather. I know, it feels weird. It's just a bizarre time. Okay, so I'm going to read from the Illustrated Herbery about raspberries, and it says create space, which, hey, we're talking about that too, like create space, and let's see what it says. It might be but I think that it would be amazing to create like a, God, I don't know, I'll have to look up like how to tincture a blueberry or something, like how to tincture a berry. That would be good. Or do that and then put some honey in it. Okay, all right, too much, a lot of sugar there. So this is raspberry is Rose's younger sister. This is on page 61 if anyone has this book here. Sweet and wild, but also steadily handed. She loves the earth and its smallest creatures, so her exuberant branches twist and curl, creating nests for birds and sanctuaries for snails. She'll rock wee babies and scurry about with toddlers, rarely giving in to the gravitas that permeates most members of her family. Laughter floats through her leaves as she flexes and twists. You too can be like this, she says, demonstrating pliability earned by drinking deep of mineral-rich soil. Sit with her, and she'll share you the secret of weaving space and creating strong containers for the emptiness that new life needs in order to thrive. When raspberry appears, look to how you are or aren't nurturing spaces within. Yes, you can buy them in season, pick your own. Oh. All right. So, yes. So, I guess in this ramble today, we have been talking about like creating space to take care of yourself and stuff like that. Research shows that this is Heather. Research shows that not only is the blueberry itself healthy, but the leaves are healthy too. They contain important substances that can help protect and promote our physical and mental health. Ooh. So the raspberry is the leaf that, this raspberry here, I've taken it as raspberry leaf tea. Red raspberry leaf tea, which is not the tastiest. It's okay. It was nettle and red raspberry leaf together. I would personally add honey to this, but that's how I have. That's how I've taken it medicinally, and I believe it was for like womb health. I can't specifically remember what I was going through. So, but it was my first experience making medicinal strength tea. That's cool. So here is a ritual: make space without. Because there's a ritual and a reflection. So we're going to end on this. If anyone wants to do any of these, and just let us know how it went, after next week. That would be cool. Or just hold on to them later. If I get a chance, I'll scan these in and put them on the Facebook group. Oh no, my book. Ooh. Anyway, this one is hot. We also have hawthorn in here too. So yeah, the binding just sort of decided to be funky. Okay. The glue or something. All right. So nurturing space within yourself often begins with a physical space and a structured experience of it. That structured space allows us to enjoy a regular ritual of reflection and holding space for new energy and ideas. Your structured space needn't be large or expensive to create. It simply needs to be yours. What might it look like? So, yeah, like you can a special chair with a side table for tea and reflection. A corner in the garage or basement turned into an art studio. A bit of garden to plant as you wish. A clear spot on top of the fridge where your altar is, out of reach of tiny hands. And here's a quote by Anne Lamont. You get your intuition back when you make space for it, when you stop the chattering of the rational mind. So I think that's, so you just, I'm getting really tired. We're going to have to stop soon, but Heather has her garden, right? And of course, if you live alone, you can have your whole house as your own space. But just I think a very special little space is important. And I've been thinking about that when we move and get a house, because we have a very tiny apartment. So I was thinking about making like a space with like a bunch of pillows on the floor, maybe in a corner of a room, and maybe like some sort of like tent covering, maybe some bunch of big Christmas lights and some, just a space where I can just read or whatever, hide. So I've been thinking about that. So that is a pretty teepee. Yes, something like that. Something where, you know, like, or it's open on just one side and sort of like so you have like that's why it's like a corner of a room. I don't know. It's not completely fleshed out, but it's halfway fleshed out. You know, or maybe people had like, I feel like this is like close to a retreat, right? Yeah, how they're like something where you're like, maybe you had like as a kid, if anyone had like a special little space that you used to go to, like, you know, I think that this is what it's talking about. As adults, I don't think we have these spaces. I think they're really important, you know, just to sort of space to dream and think and just have it to your own, you know, away from the craziness that can be the world. And so the next one is the reflection, which is hold space within. So that was space without. This is, we often don't make space for ourselves in our daily lives or create a structure that lets us grow and fully experience our dreams. All these are really important, and something that like I've had to learn to do in my life. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. I am 43. Oh man. And I want to say that thank you to Heather and Bobby for joining me on my for being making it to my herbal interviews, stories for the earth. So I really have loved having you both there live with me. So it's been awesome. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is really hard. Like again, like all these things, like either we're not taught how to do it, or it's really difficult to do it in sort of this busy like lifestyle. Busy life that we're sort of having to do. So, but dreams are like super important. So before creating in the world, Raspberry teaches we must learn to hold space within. So this is a little singing she has here. This is some questions. So part of the reflection is there room for you in your mind and heart, or are your thoughts filled with the needs and schedules of others? It's not made a priority, right, Heather? Right. And it should be. Do you have guilt or other toxic thoughts popping up when you contemplate claiming space, mental, physical, or emotional for yourself? Are you fearful of taking up too much space, intellectually or physically? So it sounds like, do you feel like you deserve it? Yes, you do. Deserve a space for yourself and time for yourself. Even if you just sort of like, I don't know. I sat outside yesterday because that's all the time I had. And I sat outside a little bit, and so it could just be that. Picture your creative womb as a place of starlight, or forest loom, or ocean waves, or sunlight meadows. Use whatever metaphor speaks to you. Step into this internal landscape. Notice its natural edges, the place where the trees end or the ocean recedes. Trace these boundaries, affirming that you hold the space within, sacred and safe. I was just thinking about this today. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's been sort of, for me, since I started this new job, it's been definitely a struggle to hold that like space and to do my routine that I do for me and stuff like that. So, all right. Well, cool. I think we're gonna stop here. That's a lot. I'm definitely gonna put these up on the Facebook group. So if anyone wants to think about, and then we'll do Hawthorne next time. We'll continue with this discussion about like gifts, gifting, and berries and stuff like that. So sort of like a multi-book multi-book section. Usually, we usually use just this book. Sometimes this book, the Herbiary, but yeah. And I know it's been kind of a lot of ideas, but yeah. All right. So yes, I'm gonna go get some sleep probably. But it's been a good morning. There are a lot of berries. There are a lot of berries. I know. We could like probably discuss berries for a while. If anyone has any like berry centered recipes, please feel free to post it on the Facebook group. Can be pies. Does not have to be strictly medicinal. So let's any kind of berry-ness. Aw, thanks, Bobby. Big hugs to you too. I can't hug anymore. Yeah, my husband made me he's got this special like sweet potato, onions, garlic, tomato, I'm forgetting something, peppers, like dish this morning, and it's like amazingly yummy. So rest and have a wonderful birthday weekend. Oh, I love you too, Heather. Okay, guys. Well, I hope that wasn't too all over the place today. A lot of topics, but we will be back next week, and we'll continue the berry discussion. Yeah, I should also post that braiding with sweetgrass link on the Facebook group too. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, go have some elderberries. Go get some elderberry syrup. Eat some or some frozen berries at the grocery store, or go if you have any berries on your land. Start doing this berry thing if you haven't already. So, all right. Well, I'll talk to everyone later, and hope you have a good day. Bye.